Rangers might be dominating the transfer news today, but still we wait on an official signing and another very quiet day of Scottish football transfers. Welcome back, guys, to Fog Football. It is the 25th of June. We're here for the transfer update, but the update is there is no update. There is no transfers. We're still waiting on something concrete. We're waiting on somebody to splash the cash. The only thing being splashed at the moment is tumbleweeds, man. There's nothing happening. It is absolutely dead. But what is happening is Michael Beale, and he has said he is prepared to make a U-turn on his no loans policy. So let's talk about that no loans policy. Michael Beale last season, when he came in, he spoke about loan players and that he essentially wanted to get rid of loan players. He didn't really see the value in loan players, and he just didn't like having loan players at the club knowing that they would be leaving come the end of the season. However, recently Rangers have been linked with Abdallah Sima from Brighton. And guess what? The transfer type is a loan. So looks like Michael Beale is considering changing his mind, and I would agree with him changing his mind here. I get what he's saying. Look, you don't want a team full of loan players, 100%. That is not what you want. But I don't think having 2 or 3 loan players in the team is such a bad idea. Plus, when you look at Rangers, they don't exactly have lots of funds. So we could be looking at a possibility where Rangers can afford to bring in 2 or 3 players on loan that they wouldn't be able to bring in on a permanent basis. So I think he's right to open up to the idea of getting loan players in, rather than what he said last year when he pretty much said that he didn't want any loan players in the squad and that he was going to look to get rid of them. So yeah, we've seen Tillman. He had a really good season at Rangers, won Young Player of the Year, and that was a loan deal. Rangers wouldn't have been able to afford to buy him probably up front. They managed to get him on loan and it worked out well. So yeah, sometimes loan deals do work. Now, whether they do get Abdallah Sima from Brighton remains to be seen. The 22-year-old Senegalese international is apparently looking to move away from Brighton. He's not getting any game time at the moment, so I assume there will be multiple clubs interested for him. But it would appear Rangers are leading the way, at least according to the Daily Record. I don't even think he's made an appearance for Brighton yet after making a move around £7 million from Slavia Prague 2 years ago. So, yeah, this isn't as good for his career. I know he's only 22, but still, you know, to not get any game time for the first team in 2 years, it's not good, and you can see why he is going to be moved out on loan. But £7 million for Slavia Prague, he must be a decent player if Brighton thought he was worth that amount. Whether Rangers get him or not remains to be seen. Another player though Rangers are interested in, and this has been going on for a while, but still no real update apart from the fact that Rangers might not be favourites anymore to get him, and that is Jonathan Panzo, who is currently playing for Nottingham Forest. He has been linked to a deal with Rangers around the £2.5 million mark. However, there's multiple clubs now apparently interested, according to footballscotland.co.uk, including clubs from England and Germany. So probably will make it harder now for Rangers to get him. If there is competition, then they will find it more difficult to secure his services. So yeah, maybe they should have tried to get him in while no one else was really bothered, but according to transfer guru Fabrizio Romano, reports that the Ibrox outfit are still asking about Panzo and looking for an update on the player. So I guess I'll have to wait and see if the player wants to go, but it looks like Rangers are interested. Maybe it's the player that isn't interested in going to Rangers. And I suppose if they have interest from other clubs, then that makes it less likely that Rangers can get him. But we'll have to wait and see. More Rangers news. Serio Desros, he's been a target for Rangers now for a couple of weeks, but the transfer bid, the transfer price, the value, the asking fee just looks way off at the moment. His current club, Serie B outfit Cremonese, apparently wants £6.5 million for the Nigerian striker. And I think that prices Rangers out of a potential transfer here. I just can't imagine Rangers paying £6.5 million for a guy that is 28, playing in Serie B. I would be shocked if this happens. I mean, if they're willing to lower their price by, I think they'd need to lower their price by at least a couple of million to get Rangers interest. I just do not see Rangers paying £6.5 million. I mean, they wouldn't pay $5 million for Tillman, and he just won Young Player of the Year, and he was only 20, and he'd have a lot of resale value, and they decided that he was not worth the money. So I just don't see this deal happening anymore. I think this one is dead in the water, and like I said, unless Cremonese decide that they will take a lower amount. But for $6.5 million, I think Rangers could get better value. I mean, they could sign multiple strikers for that amount. I mean, you're looking at Kevin Nisbet, you're looking at Shankland. I mean, there's two players that you could get for a lot less than $6.5 million combined. I know Nisbet has left Hibs now, so that deal's done. But what about Lyndon Dykes? You know, there's lots of more local players that you could get that are good. Kevin Van Veen, you could have got Kevin Van Veen, albeit maybe not a long-term option, but would have done good initially for a few years, and he would not have cost anywhere near this. So I just don't see Rangers getting this guy. $6.5 million it's kind of crazy money. If someone's going to pay that for a Scottish club to pay that amount, then it needs to be a player that I think is proven, and a player that is a lot younger than 28. We've seen Celtic pay $7 million for Jota and Carter Vickers, but those are two players that came in on loan, proved what they could do, were still relatively young, and then Celtic looked at it and went, you know what, our team would be a hell of a lot weaker without these two, and then decided to pay the £7 million each. But I think Rangers would be taking a massive chance on him if they did do that, Desros. So I don't think that deal's going to happen, but we'll wait and see. But I would say no. I'm like 99% sure Rangers will not be signing Cyril Desros in this transfer window, unless of course the fee for him comes down drastically. And finally we move away for Rangers and we move to the capital, and Mail Sport are reporting that Hearts are interested in signing a 22-year-old Sami Silvera, who is Australian. So looks like Hearts could be looking to keep their Australian connection going. Really, quite a lot of Aussies at the club now, and they look to be adding another one. Don't really know much about this guy, Australian winger. Yeah, he scored 8 goals last season, 29 appearances. I mean, it sounds okay, but again, it is in the A-League, so it's kind of hard to decide whether or not if that's good. But I wouldn't be surprised if this happens. I mean, I think Hearts are looking, and we know Celtic's got the Asian connection. I mean, Hearts seem to have the Australian connection. They do like to be signing players from that part of the country, but we'll see. We'll see if he comes in. He'd be joining his fellow Aussies, such as Cammy Devlin, Kai Rose, and Nathaniel Atkinson. So we'll see what's happened. Silvera is also represented the Socceroos at the under-23 level. So that is not bad. The fact that he's represented Australia in the under-23 shows that he must be somewhat of a decent player, because you normally do not get picked for international duties unless you're half decent. Unless, of course, you're from San Marino, then they're desperate, they'll pick anybody. But Australia have come a long way. I'd say they're a pretty good football nation. I think for you to get in the under-23 side, you'd need to be a decent footballer. So, yeah, maybe Hearts can make this move happen, and maybe he would be a good player. But that's pretty much it, guys. In terms of official transfers, there's absolutely nothing happening. There's no official deals being made yet, and we're waiting, and we just have to wait and see if something happens, because at the moment, it's very, very quiet, and sometimes you get one big transfer will cause a landslide, and all transfers will begin to happen. But at the moment, everyone is keeping their cards close to their chest. But look, it is very early, and the transfer window hasn't even officially opened yet, so I wouldn't panic, but I don't know, I was kind of hoping we'd see a little bit more activity, especially if you look at, let's say, Hibs, who are in the Europa Conference League. I believe their journey begins on, I want to say, the 4th of August. I felt like they might have been a little bit busier. I thought they would have been looking to get some reinforcements in. Pre-season isn't even that far away, to be honest. You've got the Betfred Cup starting soon, or the Premier Sports Cup, whatever it's called. That starts really soon, actually. I think that starts in 2 weeks, so yeah, I would just expect some clubs to be trying to get a couple of players in before then, but nah, not a lot happening, guys, as of right now. But I'll be back tomorrow for another transfer update. But for now, guys, not a lot is happening. Michael Beale has changed his transfer policy. Rangers are trying to sign a player on loan, and they're definitely not paying $6.5 million for Serio Desros. I can guarantee you that. I'll catch you in the next one. Until then, though, been Fog Football. Leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe, and until next time, peace.